of carpet cleaners at Duane Reade drugstores on the island of Manhattan. How about Piazza had to have a press conference to announce that he wasn't gay? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'd like to, maybe you could put that in post right there. First of all, I'd like to announce I'm not gay. Like, the media assembled so Mike Piazza could go, just want to tell everybody I'm not gay, despite what Paul Soter's friend thinks.
I had a stain on my carpet. That's all it was.
It was just many men splooged on my carpet and I had to get it out.
Wing sauce. No, it was wing sauce.
It was wing sauce. I was watching White Squall with 4 buddies, and we made a mess. It was Robbie Alomar was the gay Met. Is my money.
Mm-hmm. Brady Anderson was supposed to be gay.
He wasn't a Met, though.
No, but I'm saying other guys who were rumored to have been gay.
I've heard that rumor about Brady, but I think he crushed Ashley Judd, though.
Benny Agbayani.
The Flying Hawaiian.
Oh, love Benny Agbayani.
I'm pulling deep Long Island references.
Just good name cuts.
Respect it.
What year on the calendar do we have an openly gay baseball player?
2020?
2020?
We're not even close.
Will be the year of the gay baseball player.
That you can write that down. That's my prediction. In the year 2020.
Put it in the vault.
It's in the Chinese calendar. 2020 is the year of the gay. There's the rat, the dog, the horse.
Year of a gay athlete.
Year of the gay baseball player. What year you born? Paul Soter, what year you born?
1969.
Oh, 69 year gay baseball player. Mike Piazza? Benny Agbayani?
That was my favorite bit on The Simpsons was something happens to Homer and he's in the hospital, and I think Marge is there he's in China, so he's in the hospital in China, and I'm sure people remember this, but they come in to see him in the hospital and he's got needles sticking all out of him, and they're like, oh, what are they? They're doing acupuncture on you. And then they come to realize that no, there's just a porcupine loose in his room, and the Chinese doctor starts screaming at the porcupine. He goes, "Get out of here! Come back, and you're a porcupine, which is never." And that's what he chases the porcupine out with.
Is that your favorite Simpsons line, or one of?
My favorite Simpsons line. Yeah.
I think it's weird. Like on a show, like you couldn't say a MASH. Like, what's your favorite line of MASH?
Right.
Because just. I don't know why, but in The Simpsons, it's when the comic book guy is coming out of the comic book store, and I'm going to paraphrase, and there's a meteor heading towards Earth. It's going to destroy the Earth, and he goes, "Oh, Aqua Lady, you can't make love to Lightning Boy. He's a boy, and you're from the ocean." And he looks up and sees the meteor, and he goes, "I've wasted my life.
I've wasted my life.
I've wasted my life." That was my favorite line. So you can't undo Super Troopers from Fox. They own it forever.
We've asked the lawyers. We've tried to figure that out. At this point, I've tried to convince the guys, like, what if we just made a movie called, Awesome
Supers.
Cops? And I just don't know if it's ever going to happen.
I think that movie's called LAPD.
Yes.
Right? I'm just trying to get out of real tickets.
I see. Hey, that's been the great thing. I never get tickets.
Really?
Yeah, I've gotten out of so much stuff the most, and that was always the thing. There was never any part of us that was necessarily consciously saying, "Oh, let's just shh," because think of cops as being guys like us who like get bored with their fucking jobs, and they always have one douchebag who works with them, and you got to deal with it. We weren't necessarily thinking, "Oh, cops will love that," because you don't see that in cop movies, but it has turned out to be. This sort of great surprise thing, like cops love it, and so I got out of public urination last time I was in New York City, speeding tickets. So every now and then you'll get that cop who clearly hasn't seen it because you kind of you dance around it a little bit. I would never say like, "Hey, you ever seen a movie called Super Troopers?" But I've done my best to sort of fish around. But most guys are like huge fans. Most cops are huge fans.
That's where you and I differ. When I get pulled over and the guy goes, "Where do I know you from, John?" Says John on my driver's license. I go, "Jerry Maguire, Picture Perfect, Ghost, Suicide Kings, Gary, I'm Married, a Jim Rome Show."
Do you have an IMDb app on your phone, officer?
I should. Actually, the back where it says where I have an organ donor, that little red dot, I have all color coordinated chart of every, like there's a green is all film, blue is television, and yellow is personal appearances. You may have seen me at the Gibson Amphitheater You may have seen me at the Ontario Mills Improv.
Coming up?
The 26th and the 29th of April. Is it this month, Cohen? The 26th and 29th of this month, I'll be at the Ontario Improv. And I haven't been there in 4 years because nobody fucking came. So this will be the big test if I go back once a year. They always say, how often do you come to Vancouver? Well, if a lot of people come, I'll come every year. But if nobody comes, never again.
What do you do, 90 minutes? What do you do, an hour?
Yeah, I do about an hour. When there's 2 shows, you got to trim it down to like 50 because you don't want people waiting outside angry at you because they have to wait and they just come in pissed off.
Because we started going on the road.
I was just going to say, random interjection. I saw you guys do stand-up live at the El Rey last year.
Oh, yeah, at the El Rey.
Totally, yeah.
When we were taping our Comedy Central special. So, yeah, because some of us had done stand-up.
I didn't see your Comedy Central special.
I don't know if they ever showed it. I don't think they were very happy with it.
I shot a Showtime special last year and it didn't come out. I must have shit the bed on that, too.
Yeah. We had been, for the year leading up to that, decided to go out on the road and do... the original idea was to do sketches because that's what we started out as, being this sketch group, and then we realized people were more into like us kind of telling stories and stuff. So we ended up being mostly each of us kind of doing like 15 minutes of sort of
how much time
stuff.
does Chandrasekhar do?
He will. He will.
Hulk smash.
He'll go a little. He goes a little long. No. We all. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Justin Long comes out in the middle of a set.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on here?
Hey, carrying a motorcycle helmet under each arm.
But yeah, we do 2 shows, but I don't think nobody ever sort of said, yeah, okay, keep it to this because then you don't want people waiting or whatever. We never figured it out because we had shows that would go like 90 minutes and never thought about it. Like we felt like we owed it to a stand-up audience to give them that much. But I don't know what's the standard.
Well, there's another guy in the show with me. There's always like an opening act. So
yeah,
your show total was 90 minutes. My show with another guy will be 90 minutes.
Who opens up for you?
It's different all the time.
Is a local
Ontario,
person?
It'll be Ryan Sickler. He's got a podcast called The Crab Feast.
Okay.
Alarmingly funny guy. And one of the most... I'm going to say at the end of the year awards for More Stories, everyone's going to think it's Bert, but I'm saying Ryan Sickler, best laugh.
Steal.
The best laugh is Sickler because he laughs like a grieving widow. And Bert's laugh, people are like, that's the best, or people are like, fucking turn that shit down. And like, Bert sounds like it's seagulls.
Uh-huh.
And it's a lot. It's a machine gun rapid fire.
Who laughed like Muttley from
Segura?
That's what it was.
Segura
right?
laughs like
that's
Muttley.
The best.
Russian, actually. So how did Jay break off from the Broken Lizard crew?
There's been no official breaking off. It's just...
He was directing a movie without you guys.
Yeah, but we've each done stuff. I mean, we have...
Yeah, but Jay specifically. How could he do you guys?
You know, guys, they don't sort of talk to each other. He started doing his own thing. And so
you guys really just have an open door in and out. Like nobody really, like, I'm going to go do this. You don't have to run it up the flagpole.
No, only because we're not that busy.
Well, do you ever get worried? Let me ask you this specifically. Do you ever get worried that a guy's going to go out and do a project that'll hurt the brand name of Broken Lizard? If he's going to do a pile of dog shit where like Lindsay Lohan's running through actually, that would be kind of funny if you guys did that. Are you ever afraid a guy's going to do a movie that's so stupid and bad and not funny that it hurts the brand name of Broken Lizard?
Nah, our brand is what it is. I don't. Hard to think of it.
Think of the slogan now. Right now, you're making T-shirts. Broken Lizard. All right, we're out of time. So I want
that's what kills me. No. So no. I mean, the only time ever it would become an issue is if somebody's going to be locked up, or like if we had set up some project or whatever, and one of the guys was going to do something that was going to cut into it or prevent us from doing it. So.
And you did a horror movie, Small Dark Circles.
Yeah, Dark Circles, yeah.
And that's not a comedy at all?
No, not at all. It's pretty... I mean, there's a couple sort of little gallows humor moments, but no. I'm crazy about horror movies, and even since I was a kid. So when I started getting the opportunity to do stuff on my own, I just kind of realized... I did Watching the Detectives, which was a comedy, but then I was like, I'm actually much more sort of dorky about horror movies than I am about comedy. Like, I could talk... much longer and with much more interest in scary movies than with comedy movies. So I said, oh, well then, why shouldn't I make that the thing that I do on my own? So
to you, what's the scariest movie of all time? Man.
I mean, I've never been sort of in the moment. I think I've never been more scared than, I saw Nightmare on Elm Street in the theater at a midnight movie, 1984.
The first one.
Stones.
That's
so
funny,
like,
you're like, 6. It scared the shit out of me.
Freddy's New Nightmare.
When they had extra jokes.
Right.
All's well that ends well.
Yeah, when it became a one-liner. That's what I get so mad about. Like, why do you do that to a franchise when it had he had a couple of sort of zingery...
right, we were starting to become friends.
Yeah. But if you look back, like the opening credit sequence is just him making that glove, is him making the razor glove.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the fuck is going on.
I saw that in the theater.
Fucking sparks flying.
Yeah. And and also like I'm 14, so I've probably just been getting stoned for a couple of years. And so
I can't imagine being high at 14. I didn't start.
It was wonderful. That's how I got here, sir.
I was 19 when I first did it. I was on a beach house
I had
in
older
Jersey.
sisters. I had 3 older sisters.
Tell me about it. No, I mean, I have older sisters too.
Oh, okay. They didn't get you high? They didn't think it was funny to get you high when you were a little kid?
They were drinkers, like wine coolers.
I see.
I guess that's why I was a drunk and not a pothead.
I see. They got you drinking spritzers when you were...
Yeah, it was funny. Like, get JJ drunk. He does these little shows.
He does Christopher Walken. It's hysterical.
He'll do Somewhere with a Rainbow and he'll cry in the middle of it. He makes himself cry. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, and I remember actually sitting on the floor of the theater. Like, that's how scared I was. I left my chair, and I fucking laid down on the floor of the Claremont Theater in Montclair, New Jersey.
That's when my dad snapped on me, because I got into these things. What's this? They say, like,
act like a man!
Well, kind of. It was a little more, this was the crux of my dad's beef with this, was that, one of my sisters is 1 year older, and when my folks got divorced, I was probably about 10 years old. And so we would go to Tucson to see my dad. Yeah. But the nice thing was, he'd let my sister and he wanted to do anything that would make us happy. So it was, take us to see scary movies like Alien, like I'm 10 years old and I can get him to take me to see Alien because he's this divorced dad and he just wants to keep us happy. But then it got to the point where, like half the time I was down behind the seats and he was only pissed off because he's like, hey, I paid $3.50 for this ticket and you're going to sit under the seat the whole time? Like, I paid good money for you to watch this movie. So
I'm only here so you'll like me more than your mom.
Yeah. But I always loved that he was hung up on the sort of economics of it, that I was...
My dad was incredibly
money.
frugal. It was an odd... My dad's go-to, not to be like Sinbad or Bill Cosby or Louis Anderson, but my dad's actual battle cry was, we could lose our house. And that was said with all sincerity. Like, you threw rocks at the abandoned warehouse window. We could lose our house. Everything tied back to him having that mortgage fucking yanked from his hands.
Well, let me ask you this then. Now, as an adult and as a homeowner, is that in your head?
This will be the goddamn Davidian compound before they take this fucking house away from me. There'll be ATF agents with a tank pointed at this thing before I let someone yank this mortgage out from under me. But no matter what my kid does, I would never think... I mean, I'm talking speeding tickets. My dad would go, you realize we could lose our house if you keep getting speeding tickets.
I see. So it was a blanket threat. It wasn't like
It wasn't a threat. He was genuinely, concerned, nervous that somehow my behavior would make this blue house on Valley View Road vanish. And I don't know, we'd all wind up living in an RV someplace in Clifton. I'm not sure how that would work out. What about Exorcist? That's up there for me.
Yeah.
Is it true they had subliminal flashes in the original Exorcist, and they'd take them out because people were bugging?
It wasn't subliminal. It was just epilepsy. They had strobe lights, and people were fucking like the Pokemon episode.
The sort of demon flashes,
I think
when
so. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
When isn't it when Max von Sydow's over the bed and she gets inside of him, makes him have the heart attack? Doesn't the screen flash green and red?
It doesn't anymore,
no,
right?
Maybe they took it out of the home version. Yeah.
They had to recut the movie. I remember there's one weird spooky mask that's in The Exorcist for no reason. It's a subliminal flash.
That face, yeah.
Like a Mardi Gras mask.
Yeah, but it's actually I think it's Father Damien's face with makeup on it, like a satanic version. I know it's when he's walking into the subway.
It looks like that Misfits logo with the fucking
exactly.
peeled away skin.
Perfect.
Exactly.
That's perfect, Mac.
That's what I always thought you were talking about. I didn't know about
apparently there was a whole shitload of those, and when they had an early, opening credits, in New York City when the movie opened, people are like bugging the fuck out, but it's literally words and like nothing's happened. And I think they
that happened with Pokemon too. They had to take an episode of Pokemon off the air because thousands of Japanese kids were getting into epileptic seizures because of the flashing lights and shit. Yeah.
How do you know it was in the earthquake?
There was a thing, Mary Hart for Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah,
somebody said that she was giving them seizures.
That was a Seinfeld thing with Kramer too. They did later. They joke on that.
Seizures because of Mary Hart.
That's because of Mary Hart.
The Wang Chung